Four photographers collapsed in the heart of the African savanna, only to awaken surrounded by a pride of lions. But what happened next defied every law of the wild. The African wilderness breathes beneath a sun so fierce it bends the very air. Heat waves shimmer like ghostly tides. Acacia trees stand stoic and scattered, offering only meager pockets of shade. The grasses sway like oceans of gold, concealing stories both ancient and unspeakable. Across this living canvas, four photographers trudge forward, each driven by purpose and wonder. Eli, the youngest among them, led with a restless energy. His dream was to capture the elusive Mavutu pride, a legendary lion family spoken of in hushed tones by local guides, rarely seen, yet often heard. Their roars echoed through the valleys at dusk like myths made real. Beside him walked Marcus, grizzled and slow-moving, his skin weathered like old leather. He had once photographed revolutions, but now sought peace through the lens of wildlife. Nia followed, a city girl with a halo of tight curls tucked beneath a sun hat. She marveled at every beetle and every track in the dust. Though she had never left the city before, the wild felt oddly familiar, like a place she had always belonged. And finally, there was Zura, quiet, composed, and reverent. She didn't come just to take pictures. She came to listen. To the wind, to the animals, to the land itself. Their journey that day had been long and relentless. By mid-morning, the heat was no longer just uncomfortable, it was oppressive. Their water supplies were nearly gone, and their path had long since faded in the dry earth. But still, they pressed on. Eli was convinced the pride had passed this way recently. He found fresh scat, claw marks on a marula tree, and a half-eaten kudu carcass days earlier. "We're close," he whispered, sweat pouring down his face. "I can feel it, but the wilderness has no mercy for dreamers." Nia was the first to falter. Her knees buckled as if strings had been cut. She collapsed face down in the dirt, her camera skittering across the dry earth. Eli rushed back to her, then staggered himself, sinking beside her. His breath came shallow, his fingers trembled. Zara froze. "Marcus!" she shouted. But Marcus was already on his knees, hand clutching his chest. His breath rattled in his throat as he sank against a rock, his canteen bone dry. The sun bore down, unrelenting. Shade was a distant fantasy. Zura pulled the radio from her pack. Static, no signal. The satellite beacon was dead. Her mind raced. Her legs buckled. But just ahead, perhaps 20 paces, stood a twisted acacia tree. Not much shade, but it would have to do. She crawled. The world spun. The air shimmered like molten glass. Her heart pounded like a war drum in her ears. She made it to the tree and collapsed beneath it, gasping. Then, movement. At first, it seemed like wind in the grass, but no, something more fluid, more deliberate. Shapes, golden shapes, silent and immense. From behind a ridge came 5 lions, 4 lionesses, and a single majestic male, the alpha. They did not growl. They did not charge. They did not even blink. One by one, the lionesses fanned out. Their paws made no sound against the dust. Their golden eyes moved from one fallen human to the next, not with hunger, but with intense curiosity. Zara could not speak. Her breath caught in her throat. A lioness approached her, not snarling, not attacking, just watching. The great alpha stayed back. He was massive, his mane thick and sunlit, his body scared by many battles. His golden eyes scanned the scene with regal stillness. It wasn't the stare of a predator, Zara would later say. It was the stare of a judge. One lioness approached Nia and sniffed gently at her hat. Another brushed past Eli, her tail flicking softly against his arm. Marcus lay motionless beneath his rock. The lions circled him, sat near him, but did not touch. And then, they lay down. In a wide circle, they positioned themselves around the fallen humans. The alpha remained standing, silent, protective. It was as if the lions had adopted the strangers into their pride, even if only for an hour. Zara dared not move, but slowly her fear gave way to awe. There was no malice, no threat, only presence, as if nature itself had paused to bear witness. Suddenly, the alpha raised his head. His ears twitched. He inhaled deeply. Then he roared, not once, not twice, 3 times, a sound that tore through the air like thunder over dry hills. Miles away, Two rangers patrolling the far edge of the reserve heard it. "That's no territorial roar," said one. "Something's wrong." They climbed into their land cruiser and raced toward the sound. Back beneath the acacia, the lions waited. The pride rested in the heat, their bodies still, tails flicking occasionally at flies. The alpha sat like a statue, eyes on the horizon. Then came the rumble of the engine, dust in the distance. The lionesses rose. The alpha stood tall. The rangers arrived moments later. They stared, dumbfounded. 4 people passed out, and lions just sitting there. "They're not attacking," said the other. "They're guarding." As the truck approached, the lions moved, not in panic, but with grace. One lioness gave a final glance at Zara. Another paused beside Marcus. The alpha stepped forward, stood between the rangers and the fallen, then slowly turned and walked away. One by one, the pride disappeared into the long grass. The rangers were left in stunned silence. Then, action. Water. Cold packs. Shade to make. All 4 photographers were alive, barely. Zara stirred first. "They waited," she whispered. "They didn't hurt us. They waited." Back at the ranger post, the team received fluids, salt tablets, and rest. Eli sobbed when he woke up. "I was chasing the perfect shot, and I nearly killed us." Marcus, pale and shaken, muttered, "It should have been the end of us." But it wasn't. The cameras, many of them still recording in standby, had captured something extraordinary. In the playback footage, you could see the lions encircling the humans, sitting, resting, one yawning lazily, another gently pawing at a lens. The footage quickly went viral. Experts were called. Some biologists believe the lions' instincts kicked in. They saw weak, non-threatening creatures and simply ignored them. Others argued this behavior was unique, even unprecedented. Wild lions do not sit near humans so calmly unless conditioned, or unless something deeper stirred in their instincts. But those who were there knew what they saw. "They protected us," said Zara, "not out of fear, not out of hunger, but out of recognition of something fragile, something familiar." 2 weeks later, Zara returned to the savannah with the rangers, carrying the cameras as a kind of offering, a silent gesture of respect. As they approached the same twisted acacia tree, the land shimmered with the same golden stillness as before. There, pressed into the dry earth, she found it, a single paw print, fresh and enormous. She knelt beside it and placed her hand gently inside. It swallowed her palm completely. She didn't speak for a long time. Then, in a quiet voice, she said, "They didn't come to punish us for our ignorance. They came to show us who we are in their world. Fragile, foolish, but still worth sparing. We chased their image, but they watched our fall and chose mercy." As the wind whispered through the tall grass, Zara looked to the horizon. And there, just for a fleeting moment, she saw it, a golden mane rising above the ridge. And then it was gone. In the wild heart of Africa, where survival is a daily battle and mercy is a rare gift, 4 lives were spared by the very creatures humans are taught to fear. The lions didn't attack, they waited. In that stillness, a silent understanding passed between 2 worlds. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.